here's how to develop speed on this instrument. First of all, we must acknowledge the fact that building insane skills like doing something extremely fast requires a lot of repetitions. That's the first thing, and we need to get that. So we don't expect results after like 100,000 repetitions, right? That seems like a lot, Claus, right? And after 100,000 repetitions of going, right? We should expect, and yeah, I want my speed now, please deliver, right? But it doesn't deliver because you need 1,000,000 repetitions. And once you did 1,000,000 repetitions, you need another 1,000,000 to make it, effortless, or 2,000,000. But it requires a certain mindset first, and that's the first pillar of the mindset, you could say. That the reason why people say, why can't I get any faster, is that we don't get how alien a world that is compared to any other thing we learn in life. We can go to school our whole lives, but nothing will be like learning speed or learning to do something extremely fast on this instrument. There's nothing like it out there, nothing. So what we really need to realize is that getting in all of those repetitions is easy, right? And I'm talking about repetitions where you're not making 0 mistakes. Don't make any mistakes. If you're making a lot of mistakes and you try to do it fast or whatever it is, then you'll be very good at making a lot of mistakes. I can assure you of that, because that's what you're programming into your mind. So you have perfect repetitions and you got millions of them, and it sounds incredibly boring doing the same thing, right? Over and over and over again. But it's not. It's actually the favorite part of my life is that. It sounds sad, doesn't it? Sitting in my couch all alone, being entertained by something. Either I'm learning something about archaeology or history or whatever I'm interested in at that time, or I'm watching stupid sitcoms that make me laugh, or a whole series of whatever, right? But as I'm doing that, I'm just getting in all the perfect repetitions, and I can do that because I already focused on being okay good at whatever I'm doing at a low level of speed. So I practiced it to a level where I could do it without thinking about it. And it might be, let's just say it's like 3 notes on 1 string with alternate picking, right? Let's say it's that. And so I've really used the metronome, and I studied my technique, and I'm doing everything right. I'm actually very, very good at getting everything right at this point, right? So that's my level, but I can't do it fast. So that's what we're talking about here, speed. How do I get to speed? Well, you repeat that perfect, relatively slow exercise over and over and over again. You know how everything else you're fast at. You're fast at brushing your teeth. Just try doing it with your left hand. It's a disaster, right? You look like a moron when you do that. Try, tying somebody else's shoelace, everything is upside down. You're pretty fast at that when you look at how long time it takes a little child to learn that, right? Everything you do very rapidly, not because you try to do it, but just think about, going into your car, sitting down in your car, the ignition, everything. It's just like, it's completely unconscious. You're not even thinking about doing it. You walk through a door, you walk through a door and you just grab the handle. You don't think about it. It's such a minute, exact, precise movement, and you don't even don't have any focus on it. It's just automatic. That's what we need to get to, and we use the same method that the brain uses for everything else. But in this case, these are so small movements. You're actually trying to engrave a ring, which is like have to have a microscope almost to see what you're doing, and you're doing it very slow because it has to be extremely accurate. That's the discipline you're combining with speed. So try to engrave a ring. It's so, and do it extremely fast. That's what we're trying to do, because the picking motion is like this, and it's like you can't even almost see what you're doing because it's so small, and you're fretting the strings, and the string is like the thinnest thing in the world, right? So you're combining two opposites that don't go together, accuracy and speed, right? It doesn't go together, but you're doing it anyway. That's why it takes millions of repetitions. And because you can be entertained, once you're good at what you're doing, at a low level of speed, you get in all of those thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions of repetitions. It's just enjoyable and nice. And every time you sat down and you did the same repetitive thing without even thinking about it, and watching a whole movie like 90 minutes or 2 hours, then you can feel the added sense of control. If you really did it without making mistakes and you didn't push for speed, just doing it relaxed in the perfect way possible, you can feel the added sense of control, and you can feel, you don't even have to measure how good you become. You can feel it, especially the next day. And then you do it again and again and again. And if you do that every night, if you convert what most people spend in, scrolling through a screen or looking at a TV or watching YouTube videos, if you convert that time to practice time, then you have like 3-4 hours of practice time in average for most people, right? That you can put it, and you will just automatically become an absolute master being entertained in front of a screen. It's easy. It really is. But you have to put in those thousands of hours in that way. So that's what it takes to develop speed. And it doesn't matter if it's chords back and forth, or if it's picking speed, or legato, hammer-ons and pull-ups. It doesn't matter what it is. Or visualizing scale shapes, the same thing. It's the same thing every time. So with that said, don't forget to subscribe, download the free course down here, and watch one of the other videos popping up on the screen. Hit the like button, and please let me know what you think about what you heard here, what your own experiences are. I read every comment, so looking forward to hearing from you.